What's up, Figure Maniacs? Thank you for stopping by once again on my channel. And before we start, I want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I am in Taiwan, and currently from the time of recording this video, it is Christmas Eve here in Taiwan. Alright guys, so let's get right into the review. So, as you can see, today we're doing the brand new S.H.MonsterArts Godzilla 1962. Alright, so let's get into, before we get into the figure actually, let me just show you quickly the box itself. Let me just move this guy to the side. Alright, so we get a nice promotional photo of our Godzilla here at the front. Okay, so we have a still of our Godzilla figure here, and we have promotional images here on the back. Okay, so we got this over here. So basically nothing new basically from all the other boxes that that we get from S.H.MonsterArts. All right. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's get right into the figure. All right, now this Godzilla is okay, now let me start right off the bat. Now, at first I wasn't too happy with this figure because it does have, to me anyways, it does have an issue with the eyes. But aside from all that, everything else, the body, the sculpt, and everything, the detailing, and it captures the spirit of the 1962 suit. All right, so let's just get into the sculpt first. Okay, so it's got excellent detail. Right, and the tail's got you know, the tail can you know, wherever you pose it, it'll stay in the pose that you give it, which is really nice. So we've got nice solid joints. Okay, and starting with the head. Okay, so you can of course open the mouth this much. All right, and you can just lift the tongue up just a little bit. All right, give it that. All right, so you can move his head only about that much, and about that much. I mean, the actual suit itself, I mean, I don't think you could move his head all that much. All right, so you can move his head down a bit, just like that. Okay, so you can tilt his neck slightly like this. All right, and then in terms of the arms, you can put it in like a resting position here like this. All right, now actually this is one figure I thought that we would never see from S.H.MonsterArts, because the way the suit was engineered, which they proved me wrong. All right, so if they could make the suit, if they could make a figure of this suit, then they can make all the figures basically. All right. Okay, so now in terms of the legs, all right, so you got very limited movement on the legs. I mean, just like the suit, all right, that the legendary Haruo Nakajima wore in King Kong versus Godzilla. Now that movie is special to me because that was the very first live-action Godzilla movie I ever saw, and I was 5 years old when I saw it. All right, so you can move the hands. Okay, now there's not much, just slightly, you can bend his elbows, you can tilt his wrists a little. Okay, so you can turn it all the way around. All right, you can give him that that taunting pose that he was giving in King Kong in the movie, like this. All right. Okay, so you got you can bend his knees a little. All right, there's a little bit of not much, but a little bit of swivel here at the ankles. All right. Okay, so again, overall, I mean, I really like the sculpt. I mean, it captures the spirit of that suit, and also like the paint applications on the dorsal fins and everything. I think that that might be an error of mine, but it's not a glaring issue. All right, and also the inside of the mouth really has. Let me see if I could just put more light on his mouth. You see, there's like a nice shade of like black coloration, and even in his tongue. So I really like that dirty look of his mouth. Because if you recall watching the movie, his mouth was pretty much like that. All right, now getting into pretty much the only flaw of this figure are the eyes. All right, now, granted, I mean, I kind of, at first, I really wasn't too happy with this figure, but then later on, you know, he kind of grew on me, and now I don't mind his eyes at all. All right, now, obviously, like, it does capture the goofy look of his eyes, all right, from the film. And they're not even, but I don't think the eyes on this suit were all that even anyways. All right, but there is one complaint that I do want to point out. Like in the movie and in the other figures that I've seen, whether it's X Plus or Bandai, the inside of his eye is painted in like in this whitish color, but they chose to S.H.MonsterArts chose to use like an orange color, which for me doesn't contrast well with the figure at all. All right, and I think that's the why it threw me off, because it kind of like there's it's like this plastic see-through see-through material, okay, or this plastic piece, all right, and then below that, then there's this orange color, and then on top of that plastic piece, they painted on the eyes, all right, so it kind of gives him like this, his eyes like this goldfish effect. I don't know how else to describe it, but it's kind of goldfishy looking, if you understand what I'm trying to say. All right, instead of, they should have painted the whole thing and then painted the pupils in. I think that would make his eyes a little bit more pronounced, as opposed like this. Like, I understand what they were going through, that goggle look, I guess, but I don't think that executed executed well. All right, and before I forget, I mean, you get the effect part. Now it's in a white color, you know, it's painted white. Now I don't recall in the movie if it came off as white or like a, you know, bluish white. I'd have to look at the film again, watch it again, but this is cool. I mean, I like it. Finally we get an effect part with a Godzilla, which is nice. All right, now let me bring in other Godzillas, you know, to make the size comparison. All right, so here we have the other Showa figures. We have Godzilla 1954, the all-time greatest. All right, and we have also the 1964 Godzilla, and you can tell that this figure is bigger than the other two, like a lot bigger actually. Okay, so let's just give them like a side-by-side. All right, so if you guys can see that, so they made them pretty big, which is actually kind of cool. I kind of like that. All right, and let me just bring in Godzilla Earth. Okay, so let me bring him back over here. All right, so let me just move this guy over here, and let's put him side by side with Godzilla Earth. All right, so there you have it, guys. Now, for my final thoughts of this figure, I mean, if you guys are a fan of the 1962 Godzilla, yeah, you should pick this up. All right, now, for me, I mean, okay, I'm gonna speak personally speaking. I mean, if you don't mind the eyes, all right, then I mean this is a figure worth getting. I mean, for a lot of people who I've spoken to, they don't mind the small flaws of the eyes. Okay, which I mean, anything that you buy, there, you know, there's always bound to be some sort of flaws. I mean, even if you look at this the 1954 Godzilla, his eyes aren't you know, they're not straight. I mean, they're meant to be like this because, you know, for photogenic purposes, like when shooting him, they always give him like the side angle. You know what I mean? So they almost never shoot him straight on, which would make him look goofy looking. And the same thing with this Godzilla. All right, so yeah, so if you guys are a fan of this Godzilla, pick him up. All right, and if you don't like the suit, well, stay away. All right, so that's pretty much my final thoughts. I really like this figure. I mean, I love all Godzillas. All right, so I'm a fan of all the Godzillas, and especially this guy because this Godzilla was the very first live-action Godzilla I saw as a kid. All right, guys, so in closing the video, I'm gonna show you some toy photography. I've made some images for you guys to take a look at. So hopefully you guys like my Godzilla toy art. And I want to thank you guys for watching. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I will see you guys in the new year. Take care. Bye-bye.